We've got I've got Michael Woods with me this morning. Well, today I should say. We're going to do another little. It's my second attempt at a split screen video, basically. We'll see how it goes. Maybe you might just get his head comes up. How you going, Mike? Anyway.
I'm good. Thanks, Rob.
Good.
We thought I haven't done much work today. Well, I'm in the workshop and I've been looking at some watches, but I've spent the last hour and 45 minutes talking to a customer through a quote.
Okay.
So
see, there you go. It's not just all beer and Skittles. You got to talk to the customers for hours at a time. What was the quote for?
It was for a 1680 red Submariner, Rolex red Submariner.
Nice.
From 1972. Really nice gentleman. And when I say I haven't done much work today, it doesn't feel like work when I'm actually talking to customers. And this gentleman, Jason, he just wanted to learn a little bit more about the specifics of this watch, and it was his grandfather's, and then his father wore it, and he wanted to know some specifics about the details of what the mark of the dial was, and the Mark 5 dial, and what we can do to it. And I was trying to persuade him away from refinishing the case, and which I've managed to do, and trying to get him I'm going to try and source him an original plexiglass that is actually like a slightly different shape to what you can get now.
Right. Yeah.
So I think I can get one of those.
Awesome.
And he's going to be happy with it. But it was a great conversation. It was really nice guy, and he didn't feel like work. Yeah. So fair enough. That was sort of my work today. I suppose.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So far. Yeah. And he's happy to
go
ahead with everything, and just looking forward to it. So
perfect. That's the best sort of customer when you can explain it all, they understand, and they don't put a restraint on it as far as the budget or anything goes, and just fix it how it goes, how it's supposed to go. Yeah, excellent.
Well, it's a valuable watch, and he just wants the best for it. And I'll restore the movement. They don't balance staffs don't break in those often.
Right, okay.
They take a fair. They can take a fair.
Are they quite solid? Are they quite big? Are they bigger the diameter than the new ones, or what?
Yeah, they're just slightly. Well, it's just the shock. You don't see balance staffs broken in watches like that with real good shock systems. Yeah, and this one was broken. I've replaced the balance staff on a Rolex for in the last 12 months because you just don't see them often.
Yeah.
So I have to do it with this one. So
it's had a bit of a shock then.
It has. Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know how. He just knows it doesn't run correctly. So
okay. Okay. Well, just for the guys there's plenty of people listening that know what we're talking about. I guess there's maybe a few that aren't. The balance staff obviously is the staff that holds out the bit you can see spinning around the back of your watch. People say, "No, that's the gold bit flicking and spinning." It's not actually spinning around. It's going back and forth basically. But the balance staff is basically the finest pivot, isn't it? Really. So that's the bit that breaks if anything breaks. Really, if it has a shock or whatever. And if that stops, everything stops. The watch won't work without a balance staff that goes. So it's a bit of a giveaway sometimes. Okay.
Not to be confused with the oscillating weight that spins around in the watch. It's
not the big weight.
The little heart that spins really fast.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. It's been great.
We don't really talk with video.
No, not usually.
Sort of. So this is good. We've done a couple of podcasts, which was fun.
Exactly. I don't like scaring people off with my face the first time around. Better to do audio and then gradually, bring them in with the video. But we did a podcast. I guess everyone has seen them already. Check out fifthwrist.com and look at the podcast on Apple. On Spotify or wherever your podcast thing is. Fifth Wrist Radio. You'll find. I think we've done about. There must be about 30 or something, or in total.
It must be a little bit more now, maybe.
Yeah.
I listened to 28 of them before my first podcast came on. I think so.
Okay. Yeah. I think I've done maybe 14 or 15 with Alex, the watch regulator. Anyway, we thought we'd do one today because that's a reminder popped up on my phone this morning saying Baselworld. But I was going to be obviously on my calendar. I was supposed to be at Baselworld, and I had tickets. We were supposed to be over there, obviously, for last week as well, end of last week, which was SIHH or Watches and Wonders, whatever it's called now. And Baselworld would have been on right now if it wasn't for this flipping mess that world's in. You've been to Baselworld a couple of times, you said, Michael. Yeah,
I have. I don't have the experience that you do at Baselworld, but I went in. Yeah, I went a couple of times, mainly just with. The first time was with a friend, Henry Corpella, a teacher over in Switzerland, and then the second time was the trip with my brother where I bought the Panerai.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. And so both were sort of flying visits. I didn't stay for long. I sort of might have met with some people from Rolex or sort of hung around the independent section a little bit or something. But
as you do.
great experience. And
how
many times did you go?
Oh, I don't actually know.
It's a lot then.
The earliest one I can think of, no, it's not that many. I mean, I've got one of my. I had my diaries out this morning trying to check that out. It was either I went in 2006, but then my diaries back then they were a bit. Like I've been keeping the diaries until I left school. It's kind of weird, but it's handy to look up stuff. But a lot of them are a bit sketchy as far for details, and I think 2006 I definitely was there, and that was back definitely when I was like paying my own way. I didn't work at all in what should I don't hang on 2006. Yeah, no. It was before I started with AP. I was running around trying to meet people and trying to get into the industry, I guess. I'd be surprised if I didn't have at least an afternoon before that. Maybe, but I know that they were crazy times. The year before, well, 2005, for example, that was when I'd been at a job I was at. I'd been there a couple of years already, and we were very, very busy, and I was traveling a lot. And I think 2005, I was, Basel would have been in April. And in February, March, I went to the UK 4 times, France a couple of times, Italy once, and then I went to the Middle East for 2 weeks. That's in 3.5 months. I was just traveling full on. Then Sweden as well, and in that time we also had a week snowboarding. So it was when I was very young, it's just non-stop. I don't know how I did it. I'm looking back now, and this was just nuts. It was we were traveling a lot for work, obviously, and then holidaying over the shop. But most of those, So I had a big trip in the Middle East, I think, when Basel would have been on, and I think it would have been in my agenda to go, but then a work thing come up. And I was all over the place down there, and in 4 or 5 different countries down there. And I actually bought a watch, I think, that trip. But so that was, and the year before I couldn't find anything. It might have been in 2004 or 3, possibly. But anyway, 2006 definitely I was there, and I didn't miss one since then, basically. Until last year, and it's silly enough. Last year I chose not to go to Basel and to go to Geneva instead, SIHH, and I missed the last Basel, and it might have been the last Basel. I don't know. But anyway, but Basel was a cool thing. Especially the first day. In the last few times I went there on the first day was very first day was a press day, but the first public day, so to speak, you'd rock up there. I used to catch a train up the same morning of the first day. Usually, it was about an hour and a half from my place. I don't know, Yverdon on Lake Neuchâtel. So you're right at the bottom of the lake, and I'd go around past through Neuchâtel and head up that way on the train to Basel.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you get in the morning, chuck your bags in a locker at the station, and there'd be a big queue up. Depending on how early you are, I'd never used to go for the morning rush, because when they open at whatever it is, 9:30, 10 o'clock, it'd be just packed. The turnstiles at the front are just packed with a massive people, like 500 people waiting to get in to see to be the first ones to see the new Rolex or whatever. It was nuts. So I didn't I didn't play that game, but it was always a bit of a buzz the first day, or even if it wasn't necessarily the first day of the fair. Sometimes I'd go on the second day or whatever, or the weekend or whatever. And then you just sort of, for me, you have to try and work out how you're going to get in for the first day, because I'd have to get passes off friends or, companies or brands usually, which was fine. But, you had to sort of work out that before you got there, because you couldn't get into the turnstiles to get your pass. You'd have to sort of meet someone outside, to be on the phone and stuff. So it was kind of fun. It was always a bit of a buzz. And each year was a bit different. The brands, obviously the big ones in Hall 1, they're always in the same spot. But I was saying the other day on the podcast that the independent guys, I think I was when we were talking to Charles, they were way at the back for years, and then they sort of gradually come in and they got more trendy, and then they went upstairs to that atelier, whatever they used to call it. So you'd run around and see them basically. And most of my mates and the people I knew were either up there or a couple of brands, Zenith and stuff there was. But it's cool. A couple of times I've had people from Australia or mates to come for the first time, and it's always good to go with the first timer because it's just so overwhelming. It's a real buzz. What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I think the first time I went with my friend Henrik, I spent a bit of time in the independents. Met a couple of those guys, sort of briefly chatting, but I sort of wish I could spend more time there. I think the times I was there, it was more of a flying visit, and the second time I went with my brother, I caught up with friends as well, and we sort of just hanging out and looked at a few watches. I remember distinctly the first time being there, and that must have been 2012, and seeing the Black Bay, and I remember the Tudor Black Bay when it came out. I thought that's cool. That's this one here.
We'll do a wrist check while you're here. We'll have a look at it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's the
Tudor Black Bay with the burgundy red bezel.
Is that the very first one? Yeah.
The very first one with the Edda movement.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. No, I love that, and I remember seeing that and thinking that just looks vintage, but it's cool.
Yeah.
But I sort of wish it would just keep going the way it was, so I could spend more time there. I thought I'd be going back again and fully experience it more. But I got to spend some time in the Rolex. I suppose you wouldn't call it a tent, would you? I don't know.
Well, the stand. They call it a stand, but I suppose up there. But even that, it's not to be sneezed at, because it's pretty hard to get into the Rolex stand, really, isn't it? Because they're so busy, all those people, and all the account managers who are the main people sort of holding the meetings and selling stuff, basically. They're all flat out. Sometimes, you can grab a marketing person or whatever. You can have a quick tour and then you boot it out, basically. But you don't sort of hang around, or you don't. It's one of the stands where I think I went in once to the Rolex stand. So I went in the Tudor one a couple of times. Used some people there and had some Tudors and stuff. But Rolex, I think I've only been in once, twice maximum in how many times I went to Basel. So it's a privilege.
Well, the GM at the time sort of because they're busy, as you said, their schedules are very nuts. Flat out over there. They're packed. But the GM, my boss at the time, made time for me. We sat down, had a coffee, had my friends, my brother and my friend in there, and we sat down, had a coffee together for a while. And I remember him thinking, oh geez, it's that time I've got to head off, but he gave me some time. It was good.
It's good because they have 20, 30 meetings a day. It's just absolutely bonkers from early in the morning until the night, and they've got to get through a lot of people. So that's only one thing I had to always be aware of. But you can have people's time, and you catch up with people, but they're always looking at their watch, basically.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then next thing they say, "What are you wearing?" Show us your watch, and people walk around with two watches, and you see all sorts. But everyone's pretty keen. They're all, even though obviously there's marketing people and people in the companies who aren't as into watches, so to speak. A lot of people are. So everyone's keen to see what you got on your wrist, and it's kind of funny bumping into people all the time. It's a pity that it's who knows what's going to happen, or what the future of Baselworld is, but it looks pretty grim, basically.
It does.
See what happens.
But I like some of the releases that have come out now, anyway, with some of the brands. So.
Yeah, what do you think? I had a quick whip through some of them the other day. I don't even know somewhere. What is there anything that really popped out at you, or what do you?
I'm just scrolling through now just to refresh, because there was a few brands that did a lot this year. I think Jaeger LeCoultre, They released a couple of really nice ones.
Yep.
Vacheron released a lot of stuff. Vacheron released a lot. It was incredible. Like some of the stuff they've got is really nice. Some of it's quite extravagant, but some of it, even the blue dial perpetual.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
yeah, yellow gold.
I
love that. That's quite nice. Cartier released some good stuff. I like the asymmetric.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
I think Mont Blanc have done a little bit as well. But no, I think Cartier, Vacheron, and what was the first one I mentioned?
JLC. Yeah,
JLC. JLC got a couple out that were quite nice.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't really
stood out for me.
Yeah, okay. I haven't really looked at all. I mean, I've mostly, to be honest, I've really just like scrolled through photos on Insta and maybe liked some of them, but and I haven't had a look. Well, I haven't really spent any time online looking and examining, properly the new stuff. That Piaget was pretty cool, where they actually finally got in production their ultra flipping 2-dimensional skinny paper watch.
No, that's impressive. I like that.
Very impressive, but I kind of like the old ones, and I think it's a bit almost too extreme. This, it's so the old, whatever they are, was it 900 or 900, 910 and 900? They were quite nice. I think I've tried them on a few times, but this new one, it's next level.
Right. Yeah, it's incredible what they fit into that space.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Langenson or the Zeitwerk, that was quite cool. A minute repeater. I'm sure it's a silly price.
I'm forgetting about some of these. That's right. That was nice too. Yep.
It's crazy. I'm sure, mate, some of the big collectors will be looking at that pretty closely. I didn't like the Roger Dubuis one at all, the Excalibur thing. What else was there?
Look, the Roger Dubuis, the modern stuff, that's just not my
exactly.
My
taste.
Yeah. I love the stuff where there was like it almost looked like a vintage, like a Patek or something like that. And
exactly.
It was older movements and really doing them nicely. But the newer stuff, it just isn't my taste. I can appreciate it, but it's not my taste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Laurent Ferrier, I like that. I don't mind that. Well, I said I don't like it. I mean, I don't mind it. I love the shape of his galette watches, but I'm not really big on that bracelet. I think it's a bit, as I said before, I think everyone's trying to do their integrated bracelet. Seems to be the big thing since last year. Remember Revolution magazine talked about it last year, and since then it seems everyone's trying to do it. And I don't. Having a tourbillon with tourbillon written on the dial, for me, it's not really discreet enough.
I can't recall what it costs, and I can appreciate the tourbillon. I think his movements are amazing, but to spend that much money, it's almost like a sports watch, isn't it? It's supposed to be. It's marketed as a sports watch. Yeah. And if I'm going to spend that much money on a tourbillon, I don't want it to be like a sports watch.
No, not a sports watch. Exactly. Yeah, it's sort of it's a bit of a it's a bit of a weird one. Exactly. That was my problem with it, I think.
It looks nice.
It looks nice, but he's brought out a lot every year. He's got nice stuff. That Traveler or whatever it was, the dual time thing, and the actual those cases. I think they're beautiful anyway. Like I say, round ones, but those cushion cases. With some of those beautiful blue dials and some pale dials, they were really nice. And I've had a look at them every year. I know Laurent Ferrier, he's a great old guy. And a gentleman, really, we used to sell them in the shop next to the one I had where I was in Geneva. So it was, I sort of knew them a bit. I went out to his workshop just because I was keen to talk to him and have a chat, basically. So I went out there one day, and it's was really, and I really love what he does. I hope there's a bit of continuity,
Yeah. I'm talking about this one model. Everything, like, if I was to buy it, I'd love to get a Laurent Ferrier, but I'd go for something more classic because the dials, as you said, some of the dials are just beautiful.
Yep.
And the movements are finished off so well. It's like
exactly. Yeah.
High quality, very high quality.
Yeah. We're almost time's up. I'm going to try. I was going to try not to. We can always talk. When I hit the recording button, let's turn it off. But I'll do a. This is a wrist check. I'll put my. I think I'm not sure if I've had this on YouTube. I think this is the Habring.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on one of my straps. You like that? Michael got some straps. You got some of these straps, didn't you? That's the.
Yep.
That's why. That's one of the. Yeah. Okay, the vintage look, the vintage style ones.
Oh man, these straps.
See, here you go. Say what you say. What do you think of them? Don't like them?
I'm blown away. I love them.
There you go.
And I've taken pretty much half of the stock that I've got and just put them on. I put them on my own watches. And I love the inbuilt spring bar in the strap with the little lever. So handy to do.
Yep.
Yeah, and the one I've got on the Panerai, I swear that feels like soft rubber.
That's the soft one, right? This saddle looking one. There you go. Take it off. There you go. Off and on. Off. It'll probably take me 2 minutes to get it on now because I've got some arm half blind. But anyway.
Well, you don't have to grab a knife or anything.
And back on. There it is.
Yeah, it's great.
Do you know Richard and Maria Habring?
I haven't met them, but I know them. So you've got the jump seconds.
Yeah, it's jumping seconds. It's a pilot.
That's yours.
Yep, that's mine.
Wow,
it's a
I love that.
Dial. It's a cool watch. Yeah, I quite like it.
Because Anthony's got that too.
Yeah, he's got the times. What is it? Is it time zone one with William Massena? He's got a limited edition one. I don't think this is. They're all pretty much small production. So.
I love it, regardless of whether it's limited edition or not. But that's
cool.
Impressive, that one. Yeah, it's cool. Very cool. Before I forget, we're talking about spring bars.
Yes.
I want to order that spring bar.
Oh, there you go. Look, ladies and gentlemen, all my viewers, there's a bloke on here who wants to order some flipping tools, which is awesome. I got these spring bar tools, the tweezers. Yeah, I've had a couple of different types of these things, and nothing matches up to this style that I want to get from you. It's beautiful because I had them out there.
I've got to test it out, but I think I know what it is. Like I've used them before, so
I was taking photos of them before, so I've got that's the one, right? Just the standard spring tweezers, because you can get the one with the spring and the solid part where you can change the ends and stuff. They're much more expensive, and I don't think they're any better. These ones are these ones are quite good, especially for Rolex, really.
I don't know. I want one of those.
I actually don't have them on the website yet. I just want to give people a bit of an idea of what the ends are like. They probably can't see that properly, but for taking spring bars out of those fine slots in a Rolex bracelet, they're perfect. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
No, go.
Sorry. So you put that into the bracelet, where the spring bars are, and you squeeze the spring bars in, and you can basically remove the watch.
Exactly.
And the bracelet just stays there.
Yeah.
It's such an easy way. And the other tools I've had before, the jaws always move in different directions and up and down.
Exactly.
This is just so simple. So
Yeah. Well, you can take it out easy, and I usually can, but I mean because you're a watchmaker. But people, it's still good to, if you have a steady hand and a decent eye, you can do it. But it's not easy with those Rolex, some of the Rolex with the steel bracelets. It's a very fine slot, and you can't get in there. You can't get in there with one of these, for example, a standard spring bar tool. Often you can't get in there, and if you do, you'll either scratch the case or you break the tips on these basically. But I've also got those. So I have heaps of those in stock. I've just got another batch of those as well. And something I hadn't talked about, I've got these beautiful the brass tweezers from Bergeon too. These are so nice.
Well, that's what I use. I use the softer metal, the brass for the.
That's all I use basically. And I'm sure at WASTEP they would have said that, right? You'd be only using brass, or brass or bronze or whatever. What do they use?
I'm trying to recall. We because they were very particular about using. We only use steel, I think, on adjusting hairsprings.
Oh, exactly. Number 4s and 5s. But
otherwise, you're using stuff that you wear. So you're reducing the risk of scratching bridges and wheels and everything. And I've even got some like almost like they're like Teflon end tweezers as well. So that's if I'm working on something where there's a display back and you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing at all.
I got those in they're mine. But I mean, they're good stuff as well. I don't know who they. I think it's someone else makes them. Not
Horotech.
It could be Horotech. I'm not sure. They're not from. I have to look. It's like Don't know. It's made in Switzerland. It's Sipel, which is probably I probably bought them from Bergeon, I'd say. Yeah, so oh, that's cool. Well, I'll shoot you across. Let me know what straps you need to make up. I mean, I have a tiny range, as people know. I'm sure most viewers have looked at my website. Tiny range of straps. They're all really nice straps, but it's a pretty small range. So yeah, I'll have to compliment that. Figure out what you haven't got. And I've got some more straps coming. Sorry.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, let me have a look at. I'm going to have a look at the sizes and different models of, say, Rolex and Speedmasters and Panerais, and I'll see what
you use the most.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll just put another order in because I love them. Yeah. And if anyone wants to buy them from me, feel free to contact me. So
absolutely.
I haven't done any advertising yet necessarily. Or changed my website, but I'll be in the process of doing that. But,
right. Yeah. Perfect. No, Michael's got them. He's got a link on my website as well if you want them for Victoria. And yeah, as I said, there's new straps coming, which again, they cover all the odd sizes. So it'll be like one of the models we already have, the brown padded one with all stitching, but in black, a matte black. So it's very versatile, goes with anything. And I'll have them in 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So that'll cover a lot of stuff. And also getting actually just realized in my order of getting the brown ones in 18 millimeter as well. So for vintage watches, it's perfect, basically. So okay, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll just keep an eye out. This video will probably go up not tomorrow. It should be on sometime. But think of us when we normally would have been at Baselworld. We're sitting here now in isolation still. And what can you do? We've got to carry on, basically. Keep an eye out for. Go and follow Michael on Instagram as well. It's Woods Watchmaking, isn't it?
Woods Watchmaking, that's right.
Woods Watchmaking on Instagram, the Woods website as well. Mine's Geneva Blue. The website, genevablue.com.au or Geneva_blue_ on Instagram. You can find us through there, basically. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.